Shalom. This is a new series that I'm starting called Who Are You Being Tough For? This is a case of a brother that lost it's a case of two brothers that lost their life at Lenox Mall in 2020 in Atlanta, Georgia. The report is that it was an execution style murder, and it's when you actually listen to the evidence that's presented, it's kind of iffy information because it's like you're saying that he was executed, but it seems in the report that he brought it on himself. Let's see.
A murder at Lenox Square is now solved. Today, a judge sentenced the man responsible to life without parole. It's more time than the prosecution requested. The murder happened in 2020, and it was all over a parking spot.
So that's the original report that two people got to arguing over a parking spot, and one person executed the other person. So the victim is executed by the alleged killer. Well, the killer, he's been convicted, so he's the killer. And it was supposed to be an execution. So let's see how the evidence goes.
6 Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live inside the Fulton County Courthouse. And Mark, the judge, called this an execution.
Yeah, a prosecutor here at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office says he used a big diagram of the Lenox Square parking lot along with mall surveillance video and much more to explain to the jury what happened. He says the incident ended in the parking lot with a murder, but it started there too with what should have been a minor dispute over a parking spot.
Exactly. It should have been if anything, it should have been a minor dispute over a parking spot.
On the count of murder, I'm going to sentence you to life without the possibility of parole. This case is particularly disturbing. It was described by witnesses to the murder as an execution. It was pure evil, with a gun pointed to the back of that victim's head when you pull.
So the witnesses say that the victim was not the aggressor, but when I listen to the evidence, it seems to lean that way. And I'm not excusing the brother killing the other brother. I'm not doing that. That's not what we doing. We learning from things. We're learning what not to do and what to do in situations.
Pulled the trigger and killed the man, leaving his family and his child with no father.
The law, a Lenox Square parking lot, and a life lost.
On March 8, 2020, defendant Ricky Lafarge shot and killed Twan Nguyen in the back of the head in the parking lot of Lenox Mall, all over a dispute over a parking spot.
Chief Senior Assistant Fulton County DA John Whitenauer says he recommended life, but because of his age at the time of the murder, 19, and his lack of an adult criminal record, with the possibility of parole, plus 5 years for Ricky Lafarge. But Judge Alice Benton exceeded that, ordering life without parole, plus 5.
Someone lost their life over a parking space.
Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis.
Your reaction to the sentence?
I'm pleased with it. I understand.
It wasn't over. It wasn't over a parking spot. It was over hubris.
Why the judge gave the sentence she gave.
We're told Danielle Russell tried the case with Whitenauer.
The judge did the right thing in this case.
Whitenauer says an SUV carrying Lafarge and 4 others zipped into a parking space when and his girlfriend had been.
So it was 5 people. It's 5 people. I'm gonna rewind it, but the killer is got 4 other people with him, and the victim has him and his lady together and no pistol.
Russell tried the case with Whitenauer.
The judge did the right thing in this case.
Whitenauer says an SUV carrying Lafarge and 4 others zipped into a parking space Wynn and his girlfriend had been waiting on to open up. Wynn and Lafarge's group exchanged words from a distance.
Lafarge is wearing the KC hat.
Lafarge's group went to
So they exchange words, and both of them go into the mall.
the mall food court. Prosecutors believe Wynn, unarmed and outnumbered, must have seen them leaving and followed them out.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I apologize because I was listening. Did you just say that the victim saw the 5 brothers leave the mall and he followed them with no weapon?
During the confrontation, Lafarge, who had a gun in a sling bag, circled behind Wynn and moments later shot him. Lafarge.
Now, I can see that. I can see Mr. Wynn coming out to antagonize them and maybe square it up with one of them, and the other and the shooter came up behind him and shot him in the head. I can see that.
Lafarge's group fled in an SUV but quickly crashed, and Lafarge ran off but left the gun and a hat with his DNA behind. Defense lawyer Patrick Brackley.
Defense was Mr. Lafarge took out the weapon, attempted to strike the victim, and the gun accidentally went off.
Now that's the defense, and obviously I will not there to see it. I just know that that's a high probability because I have nephews that are younger, and they brag about walking around with one in the head. And that's something that I'm totally against. Like, what are you doing, bro? That's a good way to pull your pistol out and shoot yourself on accident. Like, but that is a thing, keeping one in the head. So brothers out there that tote pistols, man, just learn how to use them better and be more aware of your surroundings. But walking around with one in the head, you're looking. I see it as you're looking for something to go down.
A defense which the jury evidently rejected, but that I believe will hold water on appeal.
There's no evidence that Mr. Wynn ever threw any punches at Mr. Lafarge.
It was senseless. There were multiple people around. It was in broad daylight.
I know that we have people that are saying, well, they won't go to popular spots in Atlanta. I'm not willing to give up any of Atlanta to include Lenox Mall. We think that Lenox has taken great steps since this, but I plan.
For all of y'all that are not from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Lenox is like, it's Phipps Plaza, those areas. That's really high end areas in Atlanta, but it has a lot of crime there. It's a lot of people that come from nothing that go there and put on, and they bring their mentality to the mall. So there, it's a very nice mall, but the it's a lot of people that are, I ain't gonna say not supposed to be in the mall, but they're not supposed to be in the mall.
Plan to continue to shop there. I want my constituents to continue to shop there, and I'm going to work with law enforcement to make sure we keep that a safe environment.
Now, Whitenauer says on the witness stand, by the way, I understand that the names in purple are witness names. He says on the witness stand, Lafarge claimed that Wynn initiated a fist fight with a member of Lafarge's party, and that man, who pled guilty under the First Offender Act to making false statements to the police, also made that claim on the stand.
Okay, so to me, that's why I said it seems as though he brought this on himself, because there's no way you follow someone out, a group of people outside, and you're unarmed, and you see them go outside and you go after them. The wise thing to do would be to let them leave, and then you and your lady go outside. But you got what you were looking for. Like my mother has a good saying, and I ain't understand what it meant when I was growing up, and then one day it just hit me. She used to say, "You out here trying to be bad, they got somewhere for you." And I didn't really know what she meant by that. But one day it hit me. Jail, hospital, grave. They got somewhere for you. Shalom.